So come in, please. So, oh, guys, we need to be quick. Otherwise, you're going to miss something this afternoon. Okay? And this thing that is looking like a sock, at one point, is becoming that. More rigid, with more foothold, and that is looking like a shoe. How do we do that? Very simply, we take this shape, which is coming from all the data we have gathered from the customer, and we use this shape that is the closest to his or her foot. Then we mount the sock, which is called the twin skin, and you're going to understand why, on this foot shape, like that. Then we take a piece of TPU composite that is providing the foothold, and we call it the skeleton. We put it above the sock, like that. And why twin skin? Because we take it and we reverse it here on the shape. And here you have something that is looking like these shapes here, but still not together, because as you can see, everything is moving. To put everything together, we have an industrial process that is over there. And you see you have two big machines, this one and the blue one in the back, called BEA. BEA is a fusion machine, and thanks to the heat that we apply to this piece, we put all the components together. They are now making one, okay? And you get this thing. Of course, in between, you have manual operations that are made by people that are working with the field. Sorry, because they went to lunch now. And then we have another machine here, which is a robot that is applying some additional components, specific glue, etc., to this piece to make sure that everything is is making a one piece. You have to know that in China or in Asia, when you build a shoe, you have a chain of workers, and you have approximately 150 people that are involved in the production of a shoe. From the very beginning, I am sticking that, then I take the shoe, I put it to my neighbor who's gluing that, etc., until the shoe in the box. 150 people. Here with Mesh, we have just 2 people that are working on the shoe. And we are able to sign the shoe with the name of the worker, and we have that in the box. 2 people. Actually, no, 4 people. Because the robots over there on the machine, they have a name. This is Maurice and Bea. So we have actually 4 people that are working on the shoe. But it makes a real difference. So we took the level of competencies and the skill set of people in terms of shoe production to another level. And we can even say that we have invented a new job, a new profession, which is, as we say in France, cordonnier du sport, which is sport shoemakers, okay? Because people are really making the shoe. So this is what's happening. Then we have other components that we play with that are having a role in terms of biomechanics, in terms of usage as well. The different midsoles, 10 millimeters, 6, 8, 10 millimeters, okay, which enable us to provide the right solution to people that are either forefoot runner or heel striker. In addition to that, depending on if you are running on long distances or short distances, we are able to enable you to choose some different inserts that are having different properties, either vibration absorption or shock absorption. And depending on the distances, depending on the terrain, you can choose different inserts. Same thing regarding the terrain on which you are running. We have different outsoles. An outsole for wet conditions, where you need traction, grip, and an outsole for dry conditions. It's not just a matter of compound that we are using, soft or hard. It's also a question of geometry of the lugs, size of the lugs, etc. It's a combination of that. When you combine everything, you have more than 250,000 possible combinations. That are helping us to gather some data, gather some information from the customer, evaluate the running technique with the treadmills. We are able to design the perfect shoe. Everything started with Kilian, and it was back in 2000, if I remember well, 2009, when 2008, when he was running around Lake Tahoe. And at that time, after 36 hours of running around the lake, at the arrival, he told us, guys,